Check one, check. Can you hear me down there?
I can hear you fine.
Get mugged now. Might lose viewers.
Try talk.
Oh, is it on?
Good evening. Welcome to the April 9, 2019 Revere Commission on Disabilities meeting. If we could please stand for the salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do a roll call of members. Rick Frenny.
Present.
Enza Goodwin.
Present.
Michelle DeBellis.
Present.
Robert Bent.
Present.
Pauline Perno.
Present.
Albert Sheridan is absent. And myself, Ralph DeChico, present. Okay. Before we begin, I would just like to have just a moment of personal privilege. The city of Revere last week has lost a remarkable citizen and resident and valuable person in this community. I'm sure he, in some way or form, everyone knew him or spoke to him or knew of him. Vincent Camerata. He was a very good advocate for the city of Revere. He had Revere at heart, along with everyone that he would come in contact with or knew. He held various roles within the city through his life. He was actively till around 91 years old, Rick, a member of the Revere Conservation Commission. Before that, he used to be a member of the Revere School Committee, and also he used to be in the, which department was it? The Revere Board of Health. He was a member of the Revere Board of Health, and he wrote numerous articles in the Revere papers as editorials. He will deeply be missed, and there's never be another Vincent Camerata. At this time, I'd like to see if we could just rise for a moment of silence. Thank you. Item 1 on our agenda is a motion to approve the meeting minutes for March 12, 2019. I had sent everyone over a copy of the notes in case they didn't see them posted online to review. If anybody has any questions on the minutes. Anyone like to make the motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second, thank you. Item 2, I'm going to turn this to Vice Chair Rick Frenny, if he could please read item 2 on our agenda.
Thank you, Ralph. Item 2, April is Autism Awareness Month. There are more children with autism than all childhood diseases combined. The CDC estimates 1 in 56 children now have autism. However, when it comes to federal funding, autism is at the bottom of the funding scale. Sometimes a child can be diagnosed as young as 2 years old. Early diagnosis and intervention are crucial for a child's growth. Groups like CPAC, the Little Ricky Foundation, and the Commission on Disabilities are needed in the battle against autism and to provide support and awareness in our community. There are walks for autism, comedy and dance nights for autism, all types of fundraising to help with supplies, field trips, and more. But our #1 goal is to have the Revere community become more aware of the prevalence of people with autism in the city. Awareness and acceptance is good for everyone. More info about autism and the autism spectrum disorders can be found at the CDC. Go to www.cdc.gov, search for autism, and you'll find out a whole lot more about research and the numbers and what they're doing and where we are with funding. Thank you, and God bless the people with autism, their caregivers, teachers, and all involved. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you. Anyone else want to comment on item 2, or? Okay, item 3 is CODA, the Commission on Disabilities Alliance, the monthly conference call meeting on Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019, that I have on behalf of the Revere Commission on Disabilities. We had continued discussions regarding the vacant position at the AAB, which is the Architectural Access Board, and if city and town disabilities commissions could send letters in support of having this position filled. Our commission would just need to take a vote tonight on a letter that I have drafted to send to both Governor Baker and Diane Simmons, who is the commissioner at the Division of Professional Licensures, who oversees the board. In the state of Massachusetts, how it's set up is, fortunately, the AAB board comes under the jurisdiction of that department, such as all the electrical boards and the carpenters boards, so that they oversee it. So it's a little bit different than it's done. It was consolidated a little bit differently, so that's who does the hiring. As you can see, what I had done is I had drafted a letter that I had emailed everyone on to take a look at it. There's two letters, both basically the same. One's going to Governor Baker at his office that I will email and also direct mail to his office, and also we'll send it out to Diane Simmons. If there's any questions on that, or if anybody has any comments on those letters, we'll just open it up to that before we can make a motion to vote on it to send it out. So if anybody has any questions or comments on those letters. Can we have a motion to take a roll call vote on it if we can send that out on behalf of the Commission on Disabilities?
We want to make a motion to send out the letter in support of having the AAB positions filled?
Yes.
Okay. So I make the motion to the Commission on Disabilities here in Revere, send a letter in support of having the Architectural Access Board positions filled. We'll do a roll call. You want a roll call?
Roll call, please.
All right, roll call.
Do I have a second?
Yes.
Somebody
I'll
has to
second it.
So, second one, second that? Okay.
Okay. Roll call.
All right, roll call to accept, to send this letter in support of having the position of our Architectural Access Board position filled. Enza Goodwin,
Yes.
Michelle DeBellis,
Yes.
Robert Bent,
Yes.
Pauline Perna,
Yes.
Albert Sheridan absent.
Albert Sheridan absent, co-chair, chairperson Ralph DeChico,
Yes.
and co-chair Rick Freni, myself as a yes.
So the yes has it, so I will get that sent out via email and regular mail. Thank you. Item 4 is an update on the state MOD ADA planning grant that we were awarded the $125,000 for fiscal year 2019. The RFP I had completed with the help of the purchasing department, Maria Zalanda, and what I have given everyone is a copy of the legal notice that was posted in the paper so that you could all see on it. What we also have to do is, just as housekeeping, is out of our Commission on Disabilities monies, is the fee for that going in the paper was $40 that gets procured out of the Commission on Disabilities funds. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew on that. So this is just the legal notice that was posted into the paper. So that's out there and out for bid. The bids has I believe it has all the information on it, and once the bids come in, then I will go through them and review them, and then we will hopefully have a consultant that we will award it to, and then the process will be started. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions or comments on it. Okay, moving on to item number 5. I will turn this over to Chairperson Enza Goodwin, which is the schedule of the April events.
Okay.
So this past Sunday, April 7th, we hosted and held our second annual Walk for Autism. It was run by our Revere CPAC board, and it took place at the high school. We had an amazing turnout, I think just over 300 people in all, and kids of all ages and adults were there, and it was a fabulous time. Coming this Friday, April 12th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Cronin Rink, CPAC and Revere Recreation will partner together once again to offer free ice skating. And then on Monday, April 29th, CPAC will offer an open forum to allow parents of children with special needs to come in to discuss any issues or concerns. And this will take place beginning at 6 p.m. at the Revere High School East Wing, in the East Wing. So I don't know if anybody else who attended the walk has anything that they want to share about it, but overall, it was an amazing success.
Anyone else like to speak on that?
Yeah, I will. That walk was unbelievably amazing. I got there early and I watched these guys set it up, and it was just unbelievable, the commitment they have for this, and the commitment that the parents and the kids had for this. The Revere High School kids had for this. It was just an amazing day.
Thank you, Robert. Michelle?
And I just want to reiterate what Enza said. It was an amazing event. I'm so thankful to the mayor's office, the city officials, the local newspapers, everyone that came in, all the donors, the sponsors, the families, a wonderful DJ who did his services, and of course, everyone here, Robert, representing the commission. It was just so great, and I'm so thankful. I also want to really thank the Revere High football team. They were wonderful, hands-on, involved. It was great. Unbelievable.
That's good to hear. So it was a great turnout. Did you notice there was an increase from last year, or was it about the same, or?
I think it was almost 3 times more than we had last year. Yeah, it was busy from beginning to end.
I think it was smart too that you had planned on having it indoors too, because you never know what the weather is going to do.
Yeah.
I just would also like to thank Cynthia Pena from Target for donating the 4 gift cards from Target. She's our HR manager. Really appreciate it.
Anyone else have any other comments or anything else?
Yeah, Mr. Chairperson, I just want to thank Enza, Michelle, and the rest of the CPAC board for putting on a wonderful time. It was I'm proud to call them my colleagues and friends, and I think it was a wonderful event, and it was a whole lot of outpouring of love and support and awareness. It was just wonderful, and I just hope this event, and I know this event, knowing them two are behind it, will get bigger and bigger every year. So I'm just proud to be a part of it, and job well done, ladies.
Thank you. Yes, I just want to reiterate what Rick Fernie said about the two of you. With you two behind it, you know it was going to be a success and will be a success in the future. So thank you so much. One other question that I have, because I know both Michelle and Enza were involved, and I apologize because I wasn't on top of it this year, was with the Special Olympics basketball. That did end. And how do you think it went? Can you give us a little bit of a recap? Because I know it was kind of at the beginning how it wasn't. That's why I was kind of behind the 8 ball and not being able to plan my time accordingly to try and be involved.
Yeah, so Special Olympics, young athletes, and basketball, 2 separate events, but both housed at the Paul Revere School and offered through Special Olympics, ended almost a couple weeks back. There's definitely room for improvement. There were a lot of bumps in the road. On the positive side, the kids that did attend had a really nice time. But from a planning perspective, there's definitely areas of improvement that Jen and I want to immediately work on if we do get another Special Olympics program up and running. So we are looking to get track and field going soon, but before we can do that, we really need to work out some of the kinks in the road.
just as my thing that I'd like to see, because I know there's been talk about the field over there behind the Paul Revere School, that there was some talk about that was going to be getting redone. The field itself, that they were looking to do a turf field, but there was a grant that they were going to be going after. The city no longer did turf fields, but the powers that be, I'd like to see if possibly when they do eventually want to look at redoing that field, is possibly put a track around that field. That would be, I think, an ideal location to have a second track. I know we have one at Harry Delarusso Stadium, but we don't have anything on this side of Revere, and I think it would be a great location. We have the school there. We have a field that's being underutilized, so I'm hoping that's a good suggestion, and wanted to see your feelings on that.
Yeah, if I could, just one other point. I think the two things, as much as we're moving forward and we continue to move forward and we work together as a community, because that's the key piece, the couple issues that we still have, one being we still don't have a permanent location that we can call our own, that we can run these events and house these events, particularly for indoor type functions. The other key piece is, ideally, it would be nice if we had someone through the rec department or through the mayor's office that specifically handled our special needs population and to run these programs, because unless you're directly involved, you don't really understand what it takes and what's needed. And you could do an amazing job running everyday run-of-the-mill events, but unless you know what it's like for our kids, it doesn't come across the way we want it. I mean, so those would be the two things that moving forward we really need to think about, is one, a point of contact person who truly gets what we need for our kids in terms of athletics, and the other, which we've talked about for years now, a location that we can call our own to have events take place out of.
That's similar to, is it the town of Braintree that has that? Has somebody that really deals with that? Is it the town of Braintree or Brockton, or?
Well, so I mean, a lot of towns do, and we had a conversation with Terry and Eric through Special Olympics, and in a lot of the communities, they have a contact person that specifically runs the events, and through different funds and through different types of funding, it generally doesn't cost the city any additional money. So I know oftentimes it's the concern of, well, how can we hire someone specifically just for that? And they've assured us there's ways of doing it that wouldn't cost the city anything additional. But we really need a person who understands it and can run it the way we need it to be run.
Thank you. That's very insightful. Yeah, that's something that's been needed in this community for a long time coming. Not only young children with disabilities, but young adults with disabilities. It's something that's been neglected for a while. Anyone else have any comments or questions on that?
I'd just like to take a minute to tag on to that, Enza, because I've worked with different communities where they've had a liaison in the mayor's office. And it's not just to have that liaison to handle all of those things, but it's to coordinate other people to help out. And I know that on your event on Sunday, you had students from SBA that were also there. And I think that from what I heard from them, they said it was a real eye-opener for them to experience that and to see how much energy and how much time and attention had to be devoted. And so looking forward, looking at either Revere on the Move, Revere Cares, tapping into those places that could potentially come up with some money to hire that liaison, that community liaison, and then offer it, just as the Parks and Recreation offer those summer jobs to students, offer it. That's one more avenue. It would be benefiting CPAC, it would be benefiting families, it would be benefiting the young adults in Revere who are looking to work. It might be worth looking into the different avenues to see if there is monies available to get someone So I think that that's a really great idea, and I know that it can be done without a, quote, taxing event on, the community.
Thank you. Anyone else? There's one other thing that I wanted to mention in April, but I think we may have covered it, so if it comes to me, I'll just add it after. But item 6 is old business. I don't know if anybody has any old business that they want to mention. I don't have anything on the agenda. Since there is none, I'm going to move on to item 7, which was late items. I just have 2 items that I just wanted to mention. I had sent all the members an email before the meeting. It was just a press release that was sent from the Revere Public Schools regarding the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Just pull up the email that I had sent to everyone. It's just a press release from the district regarding public school visits. These visits are going to take place in April and are done every 3 years to monitor compliance with federal and state special education and civil rights regulations. The letter also went on to mention some of the specifics of what will be done during and after these visits. I don't know if anyone else has any other further insight as to it. I just wanted to make sure that the community was aware that they are mandated to do a review of special education, and the superintendent's office did send a letter out. So I just wanted to let everyone know. I don't know if anybody else has any insight. We do have some people on our commission that do work in the school system, so I'm not sure if they can elaborate or have any other information. I've seen this done in the past or whatnot.
As an employee of the school department, I have seen it done, but through different departments, so not necessarily through the special education department. The only thing I would suggest or advise is within that press release and that letter, there is a Department of Education person along with, I believe her phone number is listed as well. So I just encourage parents that if you'd like to give her a call, if you have any concerns, you can schedule an appointment to talk to her, and it is available, I believe, in different languages. So if you need a translator, you can mention that as well, and this would be your chance that if there's a problem or a concern or anything you want to share, to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, if anyone would like a copy of that letter in the various languages, I do have a copy of it in Spanish, Portuguese, and Arabic. They could email me at the Disabilities email address, and it also has the contact person, the person's name, the public school monitoring chairperson, and her phone number. So if anybody emails me and wants that letter in any of the languages, I'd be more than willing to forward that to them. The other late item that I have that I just wanted to briefly share with anyone is I had received a phone call from the First Congregational Church here in Revere that they have some medical equipment that they're looking to see if anyone would need, that they're looking to donate. They have a few wheelchairs and a few walkers, and they said that anyone can either contact my office and I can get that information to them, or they can contact them directly. The person's name there is Laura Lee, and she said it would be fine to give out her phone number. It was 781-284-4158, and it would just be on a first-come, first-served basis. So they do have some medical equipment, wheelchairs and walkers that they're willing to donate. So you can either contact my office or contact her directly. Does anyone else have any late items or anything else that they would like to discuss? Okay. Next item is item 8 is an open forum. Seeing none, that we will move on to item 9, which is next steps. Does anyone have any next steps that they'd like to discuss? I just have one thing that I'm going to try working on within the next fiscal budget year when new funds are allocated. I'm going to try and order a Revere Commission on Disabilities banner so that we have it for any events that we're going to set up a table. So I will get try and get a banner made with Revere Commission on Disabilities with our phone number and website and whatnot. That sounds all right with everyone. Okay. I don't have any other next steps unless anyone has anything else that they are thinking of. We did make those handouts that we had for that meeting. I printed out a bunch of things and just some information. Okay, that's fine. And I'll just keep those in the office for when we need them next time. I put that together just last Friday just to have it. Item number 10 is our monthly reminder, and I'll turn that over to Rick to read for me.
The Commission on Disabilities has office hours on Fridays from 8:15 to 12:15 in the Veteran Service Office in the rear of the Legion Building at 249R Broadway, which is next door to City Hall. You can call for an appointment if you would like, but do not need one. You will be able to talk to someone from our 311 Constituent Service Center on other days when you call our office at 781-286-8267. They will be able to answer most questions, but if they are unable to, or if you would like a call back from our office, they can transfer you to the disability offices. Voicemail, and someone will get back to you as soon as they can. Also, please let us know if you would like something discussed or brought up and added to our monthly meeting agenda. You can let us know if you would like to come and speak on any issue or concern. The Commission is here to help and assist all the disabled residents and families of Revere.
One last thing that I'd just like to add, if anyone knows of any handicap signs that are no longer being used, please contact the Revere Commission on Disabilities with the address so that we could get that over to the Traffic Commission to look into, so that we could see if we could get that removed. I greatly appreciate it.
Contact the Disability Commission?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, and then we will forward it to the Traffic Commission. Can I have a motion? Sure.
First off, I'd like to welcome back Co-Chair Rick Funny from being out for a couple of weeks with some injuries. And I also would like to recognize Ralph DeChico, who's going in for surgery on Tuesday. Good luck, Ralph. Please hurry back, because I don't want to be with Rick by himself.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting is scheduled to be Tuesday, May 14th at 6 p.m. Don't know. Thank you and have a good night.